Coming up, World Championship ice boating. It's cold, all right, very cold. So even when the race is for a world-class title, it draws few spectators, little media coverage, and no sponsors. It isn't glamorous, but it is exhilarating. And those who compete love the camaraderie, and especially the speed. No sailing craft is as fast as an ice boat.
Mark.
Over 80 sailors from 7 countries gathered on Lake St. Clair near Detroit for the World Championship DN Class ice boat races. Skimming across the ice up to 50 miles per hour, 15-degree air snapping through their sails and across their faces, you wonder, why do they do it?
You get out in the outdoors, it's fast, and it's just really nice. I'd hate to be inside all winter long, and this gets you out.
What I like most about the sport is sailing fast, and then I can sail year-round from summer to winter sailing.
Well, I'm really a second-generation ice boater. My parents both ice boat. I'm usually trying to catch my mom, beat my mom.
What I like most about it is the speed. It's really exhilarating. There's no other sailing that you just accelerate like a rocket ship. You sheet in and you blast off.
It is a challenge to build your equipment and put it together and understand the entire sport. And I can tell you, at the time you think you got it figured out, there's a rude awakening in the next race. And that's the challenge.
This is the only sailing sport that I know of that you can have a complete world-class boat for maybe $1,500.
In ice boating, unlike most world competition sports, women compete equally with men.
In the summertime, I race catamarans and play around with sailboards, and it's just a natural thing for sailors to do in the wintertime.
We've got quite a few women racing at a local level, and they don't really travel to regattas as much. Hopefully we'll get more as time goes on. They'll get in a car and come to the big regattas.
To really appreciate this sport, you have to meet Don Abrams, the only racer with a colored sail.
These are not your normal races. Here you've got the best in the world. It's a silent kind of sport. It's an individual kind of thing. You're competing against other people, but really you're competing against yourself. Ice boating is probably unique in world-class sports where you don't have to start when you're young and go through years and years and years of training. You can go to Europe and you can go to the various sites here in this country, and you're in an Olympic class sport, but you're just a person. And that's different. It's different from all the other world level sports. You have these guys from overseas who come from varied and different cultures. We've had in years past the Russians, Poles, East Germans, West Germans, Czechoslovakians. There's a sort of a universality to the human spirit when you're all together and government philosophies sort of disappear, and what you talk about, are your runners sharp? How did you get the angle on that? Who's your sail made by? Does your mast bend? The technicalities of the sport sort of supersede any political or any personal levels of consideration.
So, who were the winners? Well, officially, Mike O'Brien from New Jersey came in first, Henry Bossett, also from the United States, came in second, and Stan McClure from Poland took third place. But if you were to measure winning by the joy these sailors expressed just being there, they all...
Reaching speeds over 50 miles per hour, over 80 sailors from 6 countries gathered near Detroit for the World Championship ice boat races. Many have been preparing for months, like 3-time world champion Henry Bossett.
The best sailor, the person who usually wins the championship, has covered all the areas. He's researched everything, come up with the best combination of not only the boat, the sail, etc., but also within himself. To build a a DN sail, I have to decide upon a shape that I think will be quick around the race course. In the past, that came out of experience. I can run through, let's say, 5 years of experience on the computer in a couple of weeks, and that's made my job a lot easier. As a sailmaker, I should answer that the sail is the most important fact, but in fact, the runners have a greater impact on how fast you go around the course than the sail. Without the correct runners, you can't win.
What I'm doing is I'm sighting the edge of the blade, the entire length of it, with this scope against an object on the other end of the shop. And what I'm checking for is the straightness or any variance side to side along the edge. When you get to this level of competition, this makes all the difference in the world.
Jeff Kent, number 3535, like many competitors, built his own boat.
The boom, which is connected to the sail, comes right down over my shoulder. In a sense, it holds me in the boat at times. And every time I tack to come through the wind, I have to ease the sail out, which brings the boom up just enough, and also crouch down underneath to get back up on the other side. And well, I have a lot of scars on the top of my helmet from that.
As you stand a mile out on Lake St. Clair in 15-degree weather watching these racers, you wonder, why do they do it?